Are you all set? Shall we start? Okay. Pranav, do you mind cutting on your video? You guys can move a little forward so that. Yeah. So, do you remember what all did we learn yesterday? We talked about rays, we talked about lines, we talked about line segment, then we talked about angles, and then we went on to triangles where we looked at different classification of triangles based on sides and angles. And then after that, we started looking at the quadrilaterals. So we looked at rectangle, square, I think these two only, and parallelogram. Yeah? So we looked at the properties. So far we are only talking about the properties, okay? And then we'll get to the area, perimeter thing, and how do we derive, and then we'll deal with all the trick questions also, okay? Are you guys clear with respect to what all we did yesterday, or any doubt?
No, sir.
No doubt. One child is missing, that is Bhuvan. So that's fine, we'll wait for him to join, that's okay. We'll let him join, and if he misses the class today, he can watch the video offline and come back to me. Alright, so we looked at, we are continuing with quadrilaterals. So when we say quadrilaterals, we are essentially talking about a shape which has four sides. Yeah? So we looked at a rectangle where the property is opposite sides are equal. So this is equal to this is equal to this, and all the angles are 90 degrees. Then we looked at a square. A square where all the sides are equal and every angle is 90 degrees. Then we talked about a parallelogram. A parallelogram is a quadrilateral where opposite sides are equal and parallel, but the angles may or may not be 90 degrees. Yeah? So what we inferred from that was every rectangle is a parallelogram. Every rectangle is a parallelogram. Meaning opposite sides are equal, that property matches, and they are parallel also. So every rectangle is a parallelogram. Even don't make the faces, that gets me distracted a little bit, okay? Now, but if you look at a parallelogram, is every parallelogram a rectangle also? No, because they are parallelograms where the angles are not 90 degrees, and hence that doesn't meet the second criteria of being a rectangle. But if you look at rectangle, all the sides are opposite sides are equal and parallel to each other. So every rectangle will be a parallelogram, but the vice versa is not right always. Meaning there are parallelograms which can be rectangles, but may not be at times when the angle is not 90 degrees. Okay? Now, let's look at the next shape. What is this called? A rhombus. What is the property of a rhombus? Rhombus is something like, let me find out something for you guys to explain. Okay, let me show you guys something. Okay, I was trying to find out something which I can show you guys, but that's okay. So let's look at this. This doesn't look like a perfect square, right? But just assume that this is a square, okay? These four fingers that you see here. If I squeeze this, make it thinner, longer, my fingers are the same size, same length, but what did I do? I made them come closer to each other. So is the case here. in case of a rhombus, I took a square, I squeezed it from the sides. So this was my square. This was my square. What did I do? I squeezed it from the side. I made it longer and thinner. This guy lost weight, became thin. Yeah? So what's happening is, square had all the sides same. This also has all the sides same. What is different here? Not all the angles are not 90 degree. Okay? So that is the only difference between a rectangle and a rhombus. If you look at that's the only difference between a square and a rhombus. A square has all the four sides same, rhombus has all the four sides same. Just square has all the angles 90 degree, rhombus don't. Okay? That's the only. So it's a thinner, lighter version of a square. That's how you can look at it. So if you look at it carefully, you will find that these angles are bigger than 90 degree and these angles are smaller than 90 degree. Okay? That's what becomes. So when you squeeze a square from the two corners, that's what makes your rhombus. Okay? So the length of the side doesn't change, it's only the angle that changes. It just becomes from being like this, it becomes like this. Taller and thinner. Yeah? What happened? I did this, I saw some. Okay. Alright. So yeah. So that is the difference between a rhombus and a square. Any doubt so far? Now, I'll tell you guys one more property of a rhombus. Whenever you look at a rhombus, okay, if you join the opposite corners, do you guys know what is that called? When you join the opposite corner of any rectangle or any quadrilateral, what is that called?
Okay.
Sorry?
Okay.
It's called diagonals.
Oh.
Diagonals, okay? So in case of a rhombus, the diagonals cut each other at 90 degrees. Okay? When the that, I mean, I would not want to prove that right now. I can do that, okay? But that might get a little overwhelming for you guys, because it has something to do with the congruence of triangles, okay? Where you have four formulas, four theorems. I don't want to teach you guys that thing right now. It will be a little too much. When you guys are in 8th grade, maybe finishing 7th grade, that is when I will explain that to you guys, okay? But for now, as a property, you can remember that when the rhombus, when you join the diagonals, they cut each other at 90 degrees, and they divide each other equally. Okay? Yeah? Alright? Okay. Now comes the next shape. What is this called? What is this shape called? Kite. It's called kite. So what is the difference? How do you relate it? What is the property of this? What happens? Gitesh has not joined the class. His dad is struggling with the link. Okay, so a kite is also a quadrilateral where you will find that the two pairs of lines are equal. So these two line segments are equal, these two line segments are equal. That's the only thing that you would need to know. nothing more. Okay, and let's look at some of the formulas, how to derive things, how to relate things, how to find area, perimeter. We'll come to that. So this is so we have looked at quadrilaterals, we have looked at rectangle, square, parallelogram, rhombus, and kite. And there's one more shape that you might want to look at or need to know about, that is called trapezoid or trapezium. Okay? What is the property of trapezium? If only the two opposites, only one pair of opposite sides are parallel to each other. That's it. Only one pair. If you have two pairs parallel, meaning this and this parallel, that is a parallelogram. If only one pair parallel, that is called trapezium or trapezoid. Okay? Everybody with me? Okay, all right. Sagrika, Sherry, everybody comfortable? Okay. Goshika, no doubt. Myra, no doubt. Okay, all right. Now, let's get into some fun activity now. Okay? So far, we have been talking about the property of shapes. Now let's start learning what is area, perimeter, and how do we relate or find area and perimeter of different shapes. Some of them you might be knowing already, but you might not be knowing how part of it. Why area of a rectangle is length times width. Do you guys, can anybody explain me? What is the area, what is it? First of all, tell me what is the area of a rectangle? Length times width. But how? Why? Why length times width? See, that is essentially what you should be asking me. Okay? If I teach you guys something, and if there is smallest of the doubt, you should be brave enough to say, sir, why? And if I'm not going to explain that, that means I have myself not studied that well. Okay? Now, I'll tell you guys the why part of it. Now we are getting into area and perimeter, okay? Area and perimeter, we are starting with rectangle, then we'll go to all different shapes, then we'll go back to triangles, and then we'll go to pentagon, hexagon, composite shapes, mixed shapes, whatnot, okay? So now let's start with rectangle, because that's the easiest of all. Vivan, you are saying something? Tired? No? Okay. And if you guys want a break for 1 minute to want to relax, take a breath, let me know, okay? I don't want to force you guys to learn something unless you enjoy it, okay? Now, we are trying to figure out why the area of a square is, area of a rectangle is length times width, okay? Let's do something. Let's do something interesting. What does this look like?
Square.
A square, yeah? A square with 1 centimeter, all sides being 1 centimeter, yeah? Yeah?
Yes.
A square with 1 centimeter, yeah? Or 1 centimeter square. I can write it that way also. Or I will say 1 centimeter square. I'm just playing with English, okay? I'm not teaching maths. This is a square with all sides as 1 centimeter. It is a square with 1 centimeter length, or 1 centimeter square, or it's a square which is made of 1 centimeter. Yeah? 1 centimeter square. It's a 1 centimeter square. Are you with me so far? Yeah? Okay. Now, let's keep that in mind. I square 1 centimeter. It's 1 centimeter square. Whenever I see something like this, a square with 1 centimeter as length, I will call it 1 centimeter square, okay? Yeah? Now, let's look at this rectangle, which is 3 centimeter in length and 2 centimeter in width. Okay? 3 centimeter and 2 centimeter. What do you see here? What did I do? I split this into that many 1 centimeter square. Everything. This is 1 centimeter. This is also 1 centimeter. This is 1 centimeter. This is 1 centimeter. Okay? I literally broke this rectangle into 6 squares, which is a 1 centimeter square. Yeah? That is, so if this is 1 centimeter square, this is how many centimeter square? 6 centimeter square. I have 6 squares of 1 centimeter. Yeah? If I have a rectangle, so when I had 3 centimeter square, okay, that gave me 6 centimeter squares it gave me when I have 3 into 2. When let's say if I have 4 centimeter length and 3 centimeter width, what will I do? I'll break this into that many squares. Now every box is a centimeter square box. Yeah? How many do I have here? 4 plus 4 plus 4, 13. 12. Yeah? Which is 4 into 3. This many boxes I have. When I had 3 into 2, 3 centimeter length, 2 centimeter width. How many did I have? 3 into 2. Yeah? So what it means is, when I have whatever is the number of, whatever is my length and whatever is my width, see, this became how many? 12 centimeter square. This many boxes I have, 12 centimeter square boxes. Yeah? So this is 4 into 3. This is 6 centimeter square boxes. This is 3 into 2. This is length and this is my width. What happened? 3 into 2 it became. This is 4 into 3 became. So we can generalize this as a formula and say, if I have a rectangle, so if I have, let's say, a rectangle with 5 centimeter length and 4 centimeter width, what will that become? You will see that we have how many boxes? We have literally 20 boxes. Yeah? 20 centimeter square boxes. So the total 20 centimeter square boxes. This is my area actually. 1 centimeter square box. This one into 20. So what happens? This is 5 into 4. That's what it is. So if you have 3 into 2, that 3 centimeter in length, 2 centimeter in width, it became 3 into 2. When you had 4 and 3, it became 4 into 3, 12. It is 5 and 4, 5 into 4, 20. So basically, that is how you can generalize this formula and say, if my length is L centimeter and width is W, my area will be length times width centimeter square. Yeah? So this is why we are relating it. So in simple terms, what we do is, you find a unit, every box, every unit you find out, and then you multiply that with as many boxes you have in that area, particular area. So that is why area of a rectangle is equals to length times width. And we just related that, okay? You don't have to believe me. This is how it can be related. Yeah? I can be wrong. There'll be one day when you guys will learn enough and you will end up learning more than me. That means you'll be more qualified than me. So you can always learn, keep learning and keep asking to learn. And if there's some certain thing that I don't know, you can ask that. I will also end up learning and that will clarify your doubt also. So I'm saying whatever we talk about, if I tell you a formula today, let's say okay, area of a trapezoid equals half into height between the two parallel lines multiplied by sum of two lines. If I give you this formula, you should ask me how or why. Because if you don't understand the reason or the basis of how that formula is derived, you will end up just memorizing it and it's very highly likely that you will end up forgetting it also one day. Okay? So it's very important for us to make sure that whatever formula we learn, anything that we learn, we should try to understand the concept behind that. How is that derived? And then you should be able to relate. And that will stay with you for a much longer time. Okay? Now, any doubt so far? No? Okay. Now, before we move forward, let's take a step back and see what do we know about area. What is an area?
The space within the shape.
One answer that came is the space within the shape. Do you guys agree? Okay. Any other definition that you can think of? Practically, I mean not a mathematical answer. What is the area? What do you see on the board here? Baby triangle, elder brother triangle, mommy triangle, daddy triangle. Yeah? Why I am calling this a baby triangle? This looks very small. Very, very small. This is not taking much of space. This is taking more space. This is taking more space. This is taking even more space. So area of any shape is the space taken by that particular shape on that surface. Okay? Now, if I had to draw the entire body or engine of my car on this board, I may not be able to draw because that probably needs more area. This board is not enough. The area of a board is smaller than the area needed for drawing a car. Yeah? So any area means the space taken by that particular shape or object on that surface. Okay? Let's say you guys cannot see my feet. Right now I'm standing here in this room taking the class. If somebody says stand on this one and take the class, can I do so? Why? Because the area of this is much smaller than the area needed by my feet. Yeah? If I have to stand on a book and take your class, can I do that? Probably, yeah, I can stand on a book. I would not dare to. But still, it will not be good enough because I will not have enough space to roam around, to walk. So essentially what it means is, area is the space needed on a surface for certain things. For drawing any object, drawing a surface. Imagine if I was using a board for teaching you guys, which was this small. If I would have gotten a whiteboard of this size and would have tried to teach you guys on that one, that would not have been fun, right? Because the space on that area available on that board is so little, I cannot even write a small equation here. Yeah? So area of anything is the space needed on the surface by that particular object. Now what is a perimeter? Let's see if somebody can say online. What is a perimeter?
It's the amount of space that's covering the space inside.
I would want you to be a little more explicit. In simple terms, you can be as simple as practical as possible.
The border covering the.
Yes, that makes more sense to me. I'm not as intelligent as you guys, okay? I'm pretty much a dumb guy. You have to be always be very explicit with me, okay? That's how I understand things. I mean, when I said I'm a dumb guy, meaning I always expect things to come in a very simple way to me so that I can understand it very fast. Okay? And that's what everybody expects, okay? Let's say if I start teaching, wait for some time. We have some kids who have gone for summer break. They start talking about ChatGPT. They start talking about ChatGPT. I end up stopping them. Okay, no, it is a math class. We are talking about tables. Don't make me confused by giving me examples of ChatGPT. I'm not intelligent enough to understand ChatGPT. Okay. Okay. Now, on a serious note, so when you say perimeter means length of a string to put around the boundary of the shape. Okay. Now, if I tell you what is the perimeter of this guy, it will be simple. If I have to barricade this place, here to here, plus this, plus this, plus this, all added together, that is my perimeter. Or imagine that you have to put a string around this one. Let's say this is your land and you want to barricade it. How long the bamboos have to be, or what will be the length of the wall to barricade it? This wall, plus this wall, plus this wall, plus this wall. That is the perimeter. Now, if I have a triangular shaped land, what is the perimeter of my land? This length, this one, plus this one, plus this one. So in simple terms, perimeter of any shape is nothing but the addition of the boundary of all the sides. Okay? If somebody tries to trick you by saying that find out the perimeter of this shape, you will never ever have a formula for knowing the perimeter of this. You have to just add the lines. Base, length, plus this 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 length, this length, plus this length. That's it. You have to just add them all together. That is your perimeter. Okay? It is as simple as finding out the length of the wall which covers the entire boundary of the shape. That's it. Yeah? Now, so whatever I told you guys about perimeter and area, let's apply that to find out the formula. So first thing we talked about is formula for area of a rectangle. Area of a rectangle. If we want to be more explicit, I will draw a rectangle here and say this is my length, this is my width. What is the area of a rectangle? Area is rectangle. Area is length times width. We all saw that. We agree. Yeah. What is the perimeter? What is the perimeter? Yeah.
Length plus width plus length plus width.
Yes. Length plus width plus length plus width. That means 2 times length plus 2 times width. Yeah? Or 2 times length plus width. Yeah? Everybody agrees? If you remember this formula, wonderful. If you don't worry. You can just say, okay, this is my length, this is my width, this length plus this length, this length plus this width plus this width. Simple. Done. Yeah? Everybody with me? Sagarika? Everybody? Kaushika? Yeah? Okay. Now, so we looked at the rectangle. Now, what about the square? What about the square? Area. This is length, this is length, this is length, this is length. What is the area of a square?
S times 4.
Area of a square.
S times S.
Yeah. So S times S or length times length, whatever. Yeah. Okay. So see, rectangle and square, they look very much similar. They are very much similar actually. Only difference being, square has all sides same. Rectangles have only opposite sides same. So you can treat squares like rectangles, okay? Whatever is the formula for area of a rectangle, length times width. Here your length and width are the same. So you say length times width or length times length. That becomes length square. Yeah? Fine? What about the perimeter? Perimeter. Perimeter.
S times 4.
Sagarika, what will be the perimeter of a square? Uh-oh. Yeah.
Sorry.
Always remember, perimeter is nothing but sum of all the boundary. Yeah? And square, that's why I was emphasizing on the property of every shape. As soon as we say square, first thing that will come to our mind is all the sides are same. If I have to find out the perimeter of a square and if I know one of the side, done deal. Perimeter is this length plus this length plus this length plus this length. And all the lengths are same. So 4 times length. Yeah? So, see, that's why I might have sounded a little stupid to you guys yesterday. I was teaching you guys something that you already know. Trust me, I am sure that each one of you know about the properties that we have been talking since yesterday. I was revising it just because so that the property of each and every shape remains here and comes here as soon as we talk about it, okay? So that's why. Now, when you try relating this, not a difficult thing. When you know see, we looked at the square centimeter thing and that helped us to relate the formula. Now we know the formula for rectangle, relate that to the square and done deal. Now let's do one sum. I know some of you might be feeling sleepy. Let me wake up everybody by giving one sum. Okay? I am giving you guys 2 sums. One is a simple sum, one is a trick question. Let's see how awake you guys are. Okay? So, first sum is find out area and perimeter of a rectangle where length equals to 15 centimeter and width equals 10 centimeter. Find out the area and perimeter of this guy. You guys have 5 minutes max.
60 centimeters.
No, find out the area and perimeter. So that here you have to apply tram. Meaning, I want you to read the question very clearly. I want area and perimeter both. Okay, V1 is ready. Yeah, go ahead, V1.
The area is 150 centimeters And the perimeter is 45.
Okay, so say it one more time for me. Vivan said area is
It's 150.
150 what?
150, 150 centimeters, I think.
150 centimeters. Okay, I'm just noting down everybody's answer. Okay, I'm not trying to prove anybody right or wrong. I will do it myself because I don't trust anybody when it comes to math. Okay. And what is the perimeter, Vivan?
But sir, before I ask that,
Yeah.
are we doing it in centimeters? It's kind of difficult to see the board.
Don't worry about it. It is my job to make it easy for you. Okay.
And
What is the perimeter?
it's 45 centimeters.
Perimeter is 45 centimeters. Okay. So area is 150 centimeters and perimeter is 45 centimeters. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Sherry, what is your answer? Same?
I know.
No. How much is for you?
My area
I'll come to you guys also.
My area is 150 centimeters and my perimeter is 50 centimeters.
Okay. So area is 150 centimeters. 150 centimeters. Remember this. I am saying it loud and clear. Okay. 150 centimeters and perimeter is 50 centimeters. Meaning in both the cases your unit is same, centimeters. Yeah. Okay. We'll come to that. 150 centimeters and 50 centimeters. Okay. Anybody who wants to contest these answers or give a different answer?
I got 150 centimeters for the area and then 50 centimeters for the perimeter.
So can you repeat your answers one more time, Pranav? I want to hear you louder.
I got 50 centimeters for the perimeter.
Okay.
And I got 150 for the area.
150 what?
Centimeters.
Centimeters. So all of you are wrong. And you can see a crooked smile on my face. Not because you did something wrong with your numbers. You probably had a bit of oversight. You guys missed one small thing. That is called unit. If I say 100 meter versus 100 kilometer, there is a huge difference. So units are very important. You guys know the calculation, I agree. But there is one oversight, small oversight, creating a big problem. Let's talk about it. So as I keep saying, I don't trust anybody. It doesn't mean that I don't trust you guys. I trust each one of you. But I don't trust you guys when it comes to math. I believe in doing it myself before I agree and say yes. And I want you all to practice. Never ever agree to any of your friend, even if that friend is a super smart person, okay? Do it yourself. So, this is my rectangle. 15 centimeter, 10 centimeter. This is what it was, right? What is my area? Length times width. I'm not doing anything fancy. I'm doing very simple way, okay? As I keep saying, I'm not very intelligent. Length times width. Yeah, that's my formula. What is my length? 15 centimeter. Times width. What is my width? 10 centimeter. Yeah? This is what you guys would have done. 15 into 10. 100. That's 150. 150. This is fine. Now comes the next level of care. You have centimeter and then you have centimeter 2 times. So centimeter is getting multiplied by centimeter. Like you multiply the numbers with each other, you have to multiply the units with each other also. So centimeter into centimeter, what it becomes? Centimeter square. Centimeter into centimeter becomes centimeter square or square centimeters. Now, This is relatable with the exponent concept. If you say 2 into 2, you can write this as 2 square. X into x, you will write as x square. Y into y becomes y square. Likewise, centimeter into centimeter becomes centimeter square. Okay? Or square centimeter. So that was the only mistake you guys made. And trust me, that is not a crime, okay? This is okay. But then never miss that. Okay? If you end up overseeing the units, your answer could go wrong. Seriously wrong. Okay? Are you guys with me so far? Everybody understood what I was saying? Vivan, Sagarika, Pranav? Yeah? Yeah? Okay. Now comes the trick question. I'm alerting you guys, okay? Let's see. It's not going to be tricky. It just needs a bit of extra care. Same question. Find out area of a rectangle where sides equal to where length equal to. Are you guys clear about the, okay, yeah, length equals to 10 feet and width equals to 24 inches. Pranav, I know you have a question. I'm reading it for you. Find out the area of a rectangle where length equals to 10 feet and width equals to 24 inches. Length equals 10 feet and width equals 24 inches.
Sir?
Yep.
I have the answer. I think it's 20 feet.
20 feet. Okay. Same? 20 feet. Okay. Now it's turn for Vivan or Myra to explain why it is 20 feet. I know the answer is right. I just want you guys to be clear and explain it to all the friends here. Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead, Vivan. I want to hear you.
Okay. So first, you said the length is 10 feet. So I noted down 10 feet. And 24 inches is equal to 2 feet because 1 feet is equal to 12 inches. So I converted 24 inches into 2 feet. When I multiplied that to 10 by 2, I got 20 feet.
Yes. Same thing for you also, right? So see, that's what, it was not a trick question. I said it just needs extra attention, extra care. When you get a question like this, make sure that you read it. And again, this aligns with my theory, right? I said tran. We have to use tran. Read it again and again. When you read this, find out area of a rectangle when length is 10 feet and width is 24 inches. 10 feet, 24 inches. Let me read one more time. Find out the area of a rectangle when length is 10 feet and width is 24 inches. That should ring the bell for me. That, oh, length is in feet, width is in inches. Are they relatable? I cannot multiply a feet with an inch. I have to have everything in one unit. Yeah? I cannot multiply 5 with 3. I have to multiply 5 with a number. Yeah? Same way here, I have feet and I have inches. I have to bring them into one unit first of all. Yeah? I cannot say this into this. Okay, length times width. Area equals to length times width. That area length is 10 feet and width is 24 inches. I will say, okay, 10 into 24 is 240. feet, inches. There is nothing like feet, inches that exists in life. Okay? It has to be feet square or inches square. You cannot have, okay, my distance from my house to the classroom is 24 kilometer mile. Yeah? Agree? Yeah, Pranav.
I got 240 inches.
240 inches. No, you will not get that. You should not be getting that actually. Because if you either you will convert feet to inches so that everything is in inches and then you do it, or you will convert inches to feet and then you multiply them so that you are multiplying feet to feet or inches to inches. You have to have everything in one unit and then only you can play with that. Okay? So your first attempt has to be see if both are using same unit or not. If not, convert them into one unit if you know how to do that. Convert that first and then you do it. Because just multiplying numbers will not help. Imagine a situation. If I say that I will give you a land, okay, I will buy you guys a land, okay? I'm giving you guys a deal. I mean, I'm not that rich, but I'm giving a deal, okay? That I am giving you guys two options, okay? That I am okay to give you a land. Either one land which is both are in rectangular shape, okay? This one is 5 let's say 500 feet by 3 feet, or I will say I'll give you another one with 1000 feet versus 10 inches. Yeah. So here this is 500 feet by 3 feet. This is 1000 feet by 10 inches. If you just look at the numbers, 1010, 503, this looks more impressive. But actually if you take the unit into account, everything changes upside down. This is a much smaller land that we are talking about. This is a much bigger land. So if I am going to gift you guys one of the land and you have to choose which one is better for you, you should be choosing this one because you are taking care of the unit part. Okay? Anyway, that plan is cancelled. I am not gifting land to anybody. I don't have one. Okay. Alright. So this is the aspect that you have to take into account when you are looking at finding out area or perimeter of any shape. Don't forget to look at the unit because that is very important. Okay, so that's why when you guys told me the area of that rectangle was 150 centimeters, I knew that is not correct because I can never ever have an area which doesn't have the power of 2 on the unit. Area cannot be centimeter or feet or yard or mile. It has to be a square of something because you are multiplying one side against other side. So when you are looking at the area is a multiplication of two sides. Not as a multiplication of two sides for triangle or other things, but remember when you are finding out area, you are apparently multiplying two sides. Okay? And what are those two sides? That will come to. But there is multiplication of two sides happening. So there are two units getting multiplied with each other. So it cannot be a power of 1. It cannot be centimeter or inch or feet or yard or mile or whatever. Okay? It has to be a square of something. If the area doesn't have a square of something as a unit, something is mistaken. Yeah? Everybody with me? Yeah? Okay.
Sir?
Yep.
Actually,
Yep, sure.
144 inches.
What is that?
I got 144 inches.
144 inches. For which one?
For the problem.
And what was the problem? I forgot.
It was a problem for
I left that problem long time behind. I mean, long ago, and then I moved on. I'm showing multiple things. Okay, you have to repeat for me. It's fine.
It's 10 feet.
Okay. And
And then you have a rectangle where what the length is 10 feet and the width is 24 inches.
24 inches. Okay. And what was the answer?
I got 144
144 what? For what?
inches.
Perimeter?
The answer.
No, 144 is the answer for what? Area or perimeter?
Area.
Area 144 inches. No, first of all, as I said, any area is a multiple of two sides. So it has to be a square. If you are missing the square, there is something missing actually. Okay, it has to be either inches, square or whatever. So that is the first observation. Now, is it 144? Now it is 12 inches. 10 feet is what? 1 foot equals 12 inches. So 10 feet will be 10 into 12 inches. So this is 10 into 12, 120 inches. So now if I am doing this calculation in inches, my length is 120 inches, my width is 24 inches. So my area will be 120 inches multiplied by 24 inches. So this will be some inches square, and that will be 12, 4 by 48, 28, 80 inches square. If you want to do that in inches, okay. So whenever you come across any question, right, don't start solving it. Like I always say, try. Read till you get tired. Then you analyze. Then you make your mind. Okay, this is what I know. This is what I have been given. This is the formula I am aware of. And I am going to apply this formula, putting this value for doing it. So you have made your mind. You have not even written a single word on the notebook. And then after you have read it enough, after you have analyzed, you have decided how to go about it, that is when you put on your Nike shoes. Just do it. Yeah? Yeah? So that's what we'll do. So, what are the things that we did today? We looked at the property of some of the remaining quadrilaterals. We talked about the property of rhombus. We talked about the property of kite. We talked about the property of trapezium or trapezoid. Okay? And then we started relating with what we know. So we know that area of a rectangle is length times width. We just try to figure out how do we relate. Why L into length times width? Why not length square into width square? Right? So we figured it out by looking at the square centimeters. Then we related that to find out the area of a square also. Rectangle is very much similar to a square. In case of rectangle, your length and width are different. In case of a square, your length and width are the same, meaning all the sides are same. So if the area of a rectangle is length into width, area of a square is length times width or length times length. That is length square. Similarly, perimeter, we looked at the perimeter, basic definition of perimeter, and then we tried doing it. Now, one last thing. In just 2 minutes, you guys would have heard about composite shapes. Okay? Composite shapes are complex shapes. We have just learned or revised the area of a square and rectangle, perimeter of a square and rectangle. We will learn about triangles, trapeziums and other some basic shapes, circles. But there is not going to be a single day when I will tell you the formula to find out the area for this guy. I will never ever teach you how to find out the area of this guy or what is the formula for this guy. But apparently you will have to still do it. So, and I will not teach you because there's no formula that exists. There's a concept. That is why when I was emphasizing on what is area is the space taken by an object on the surface. Now if I know this is the area, I know that, let's say we will learn the area of a rectangle, area of a triangle, area of a circle, whatnot. Then I break this into smaller, simpler shapes and then find out the area of all these shapes. Let me break it down. Let me join the corners. What I have here now, one triangle, second triangle, third triangle, fourth triangle. If I know how to find out the area of a triangle, I will find out the area of this triangle, I will find out the area of this triangle, I will find out the area of this triangle, I will find out the area of this triangle. Add them together. That becomes my area of this shape. That is why I said I will not tell you the formula for this, but how you will do it is this. Okay? You will break it down to simpler pieces and we will use the same approach, simplify things. This was a complex looking shape. We simplified that to easier shapes. And we'll find out the area of the simpler shapes, add them together. That becomes my area of that composite shapes. That is what we will learn. So right now we don't have to worry about it. I'm just telling you this is the approach. So when we learn the area of a triangle, find out how it is derived, and when we come to this, then we already know how do I break it down and find it out. Yep. That brings us to the end of the class. Any question, any doubt? No questions, no doubt.